You think? Oh, baby. I got to take a drink. Oh, beer tastes so sweet when the Habs beat the Leafs. First victory in Toronto. My friend Paul Antoniadis gave me the stat before the game. First win by the Habs in Toronto, apparently, since 2019. So, well overdue. It feels so sweet, doesn't it? Would have been nice to beat them in regulation, but hey, these things happen. Getting the 2 points is the main thing, right? Gotta love it. I'm stoked. The Habs, hey, they played a consummate road game tonight. They were, you let in one goal against the Leafs. I'm sorry, but they're just not, you just don't feel as threatened by the Leafs without Marner. Marner used to kill the Habs quite a bit, didn't he? And they just don't quite have the same, that one extra guy that would seem to come up with the huge, pass that would set up Matthews or whatever. Dobie, hey, no question, he's the starter now, right? Habs with that win. Ooh, they're 33 points, 8th spot in the standings. Tied with Pittsburgh and Philly for 6th. Man, 33, 33, 34, 33, 33, 33, the 6, 7, 8, 34, 34, 4, 5, 35 for the third place team, 36 for the second place team, 37 for the first. Never seen the likes. That's crazy. Let's bring in, here he is. Might as well bring him in. Hey, nice hat.
Ho, holy crap, they won.
Yeah. Wow, hey. Biggin. Two in a row in the shootout. Like, what's going on, Blaine?
They like to be dramatic.
Yes, they do.
Because they could have won those 2 games in regulation.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Garrett Rank. Did they say, like, did the NHL say, geez, this guy sucks against the Habs. Let's get him every game. Seems like he's friggin' reffing all the time. And then, was that not a high stick, Nicola Waugh?
Yeah, I think it was, but again, it wasn't called, and I think it had the goal being given up had a lot to do with the player who was on the blue line kind of pinching a little bit too much and not paying attention to who was behind him, and then falling down, of course.
Well, I mean, you can't expect the Waugh to knock that out of the air 5 feet up,
can't.
and so I give him maybe a little bit, but geez, and I don't think at first I was a little pissed off at Cappy, but you can't be. I mean, he was making the right play, and he even put it up 5 feet off the ice. So obviously he wasn't expecting the guy to knock it down, to it not to be called, and then what happened. So,
I mean, no matter how many times we had to see that goal, I think the replay was done 20 times
probably
in the next 4 minutes.
Yes.
It was unreal.
Oh, I know. And, of course, Simpson, oh, no, that doesn't look like They finally found an angle. They showed about 16 angles, and finally there was one, from a blimp or something. Oh, look, no, maybe that wasn't a high stick. But, yeah.
Yeah, that 6'5" guy with the stick over his shoulder, definitely not a high stick.
Yeah. No. Wasn't over the crossbar. No, it was fine. And, of course, you can't challenge it in the defensive zone. So Marty had his hands tied. He got outranked, you could say.
Ooh. I do like how they battled through that, though. Despite a bad call, they didn't lower their shoulders. They just kept going.
No, although, Arbor, the last 7 minutes there, Jesus, he he struggled. He had that friggin' turnover that should have led to another goal. Then the whiff, and then takes the penalty. Like those two shifts were rough.
Well, I think the penalty was probably
warranted.
Taking that penalty was good in that exact moment because that was probably going to be a goal.
Right,
if he was let loose.
But he had to take the penalty because he whiffed on the friggin' on the puck.
On it, yeah.
That's what that's what set it up. I'm not
forced himself into the position.
Right, I'm not pissed off at him taking the penalty because he had to, but he wouldn't have had to take the penalty if he hadn't whiffed on the friggin' pass in the first place. But he hadn't been that bad up until then, and it just was like, ooh, you picked a bad time to, all of a sudden have some brain cramps. But Dobie, do you come back with Dobie tomorrow night anyway?
If it wasn't the very next night, I'd say yes. But because it's tomorrow, you kind of have to put Montembeault in there.
But it's not like Dobish is playing 80% of the time and you're going to wear him out, right?
True.
A lot of goalie, like not a lot, but it's not every game that back-to-back that you go with. There are teams that play their goalies back-to-back,
Yeah.
When's their next game?
I'm looking that up right now. They're playing the Blues tomorrow at home.
No, I mean after that.
After that, they're playing Tuesday against Tampa.
Oh, Tuesday. Yeah. Well, I guess you put Montembeault in and hope he saves one of the first two shots. And if he does, then they stand a chance. If not, who knows, right?
I think it's a good game to put him in because the Blues, they're kind of struggling right now. They're playing tonight as well. There's no big advantage there.
Yeah, they beat Ottawa tonight. And yay. So the Habs, let's just have another look here. Where are they? 1, 2. Now Boston is up. Jesus, it changes every day, eh? So they're third. They're third in the division, but they got 3 games in hand on Boston. So really, and they're
a game
only
in hand on Tampa.
And a game in hand on Tampa, and they're only a point back. So, they win tomorrow night. Guess what, folks? They are in third place in the conference, unless somebody else wins. It's ahead. But most importantly, they're probably in first place in the division again. So it's going to be like this all year, folks. Buckle up.
if they can battle their way through the season, up and down in those top 3 spots, that's a huge step forward for them.
Yeah. Compared to last year?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Compared to every year for the last 5-ish years?
Yeah. Well, I mean, beating them at home is just so sweet. In fact, I made up my thumbnail there tonight. I'll just bring it in here. My YouTube thumbnail for tonight's game.
Oh, okay.
What do you think of that one?
I wish I had a torch to get rid of that really bad mustache. I mean, my God, I feel bad for the guy.
Yeah,
just shave that thing. Just shave it. He looks so much better.
It doesn't matter if he shaves it or has it or he does. I don't think he ever looks better. It just aren't words that go with Austin Matthews look. But anyway, all good. It's not like
his pants on.
He's grown it a little more. Like I don't know. It's better than the porn star mustache look that he had forever, I think. But it's still not. Yeah, it's true. It kind of looks a bit like your facial growth there. That's a good point. I hadn't thought of that. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Let's get to some stats here. 26-56 for Matheson. There were a couple of times when you got pissed off at him. Tonight he wasn't breaking the stick; he was losing it instead in important pot.
Yeah, yeah.
It seems to happen every game, and at some pertinent part of the game, he's without a stick. But he survived it. What do you? Speaking of being without a stick, what do you think of that Cappy block when he lost his stick there? And then Matthews kicks which is a penalty, by the way.
He was pivoting. He was pivoting.
Right, yeah, and Cappy says, "Okay, do I go get the stick? This might be going to Matthews. I better be ready." And his second huge shot block in a row there. But that without the stick, that was perfect. And then the puck went in the corner. He went in, hit a guy, and picked up the stick at the same time. Like, he's a sharp dude, that Oliver Cappy.
Well, he was really smart defensively. He was able to adjust, and Matthews is not someone that's easy to adjust to.
No.
And he was able to get that block shot. And what I liked about when he went into the corner, he kind of fell down with his foot out a little bit and got away with a bit of a trip. So,
hey, tit for tat,
a greasy
right?
kick, a greasy trip, it evened out.
Yeah, exactly. No, and Marty's showing more and more trust in him, putting him out 2 shifts in the friggin' overtime again, eh? The rookies are all right. Brought them, they obviously, still 16 minutes plus for both Demidov and Kapanen. So they're getting, as Marty promised, they're getting more ice time, right? Slav with 21-36 tonight. Pretty strong. I loved his, as Simpson said there, when you turn over the puck, you often make your best defensive plays, and that was huge when he came back and knocked that puck away, because he would not have been too happy with himself if that would have ended up going in the net. But the first 2 minutes of overtime, Habs never touched the puck. Starting to think that they weren't.
They needed that face-off win to start, but I don't think not having the puck there, I mean, as much as it sucked, you could tell that the Leafs they didn't have an answer to what the Canadians have. And the Leafs are a much slower team than they have been in the past. Because you mentioned it right before bringing me in. Without Marner, they really lack that additional speed.
Yeah, they miss him a lot. They really do. I mean, he just was and he was a Habs killer too. Like, I don't know how many friggin' times he'd come up with just as one of the best playmakers in the league. That goes without question, and they miss him. But Matheson really, there were a couple of times earlier in the game, blah blah blah, this and that, but late in the game and overtime, superb. And and that one play, and then they even featured it, but where he came back and it looked like was it Lawton, I think. Looked like Lawton was going to get in.
Yeah, when he poked the puck off. Yeah.
There are very few defensemen that could have made that defensive play. He's just such a great skater, and that was fantastic. So that's why Mike Matheson plays 26 minutes a night, folks, because you can harp on a turnover or a bad decision here and there, but those are the plays that win you hockey games when it comes down to it. So he saved their bacon more than once with his defensive play, and came down close to winning it too. That was a nice rush there.
Kick up to the stick, yeah.
And
he was lined up against Toronto's top line all night long.
Yeah.
And he was still 67% expected goals for. So there's a lot to be said for a defenseman. Yeah, sure, he'll make a mistake here and there, but the majority of his game is excellent.
So who were the top guys expected for on the Habs?
Caulfield, Slafkovsky, and Suzuki, of course. That top line really, really controlled that game.
Mm-hmm. Suzuki doing so many little things again. He's just such a smart player. Canadians' top two centers at both high IQ, and that's so important for a top two center is to be a smart player, and both of them are really smart. And you know what? Joe Veleno, I don't know why this wasn't dawning on me, because I kept saying, oh, they have four right centers, but Veleno's a left center. And you know who's been taking the big draws in the defensive zone in the left face-off dot? He's become the new Dvorak in that regard. He goes out and he takes those big draws. He won 3 in the defensive zone that were huge tonight. And I looked at his stats going into this game. Well, he's 53% overall going into the game. We'll look at what did he end up here? 5 wins, 6 losses, fine, but 3 in that defensive zone on the left hash mark, where all of the other guys struggle somewhat. But here's an interesting stat going into the game. Look at his percentage in the left defensive zone, 67%. And I think he was 3 for 3, maybe 4 for 4 there tonight. So I think he's up over 70% now in the defensive zone in the left dot, where it's toughest for all of the other 3 right-handed centers to win draws. So he's a key, as long as he's not hurting you defensively, and hell, he's killing penalties, he's competing. He's playing well defensively now. He's kind of becoming he's becoming their Dvorak. You know, I mean, he's not as good as Dvorak. He's not gonna get as many points as Dvorak, but you know, a poorer version, and at least somebody that takes the draws that's left shot, that it's important. So right now, you know, people say, well, why is Veleno in the lineup? Well, there's your answer.
He played almost 8.5 minutes at 5-on-5. His expected goals for, surprisingly, at 5-on-5 was the 3rd best on the team at around 75%.
He was good.
His possession stats are good.
He was good again tonight, you know.
So why not have him in the lineup?
Well, hell, you know. And then Texier again, well, hey, playing in overtime, that's an interesting combo, Slav and Texier that they put out there. But he's a good skater. He's fairly smart. He's playing okay. Let's have a look here. Veleno, he only played 11-12, but you know, he was out for some really important draws, and I thought it was you know, he was solid tonight. Davidson, I didn't mind Davidson's game tonight either. He again only playing 8.5 minutes, but he had some, you know, he plays with some grit out there, and I didn't mind him. What do we have here? Who led the team in hits? Caulfield with 3 hits tonight. You gotta love, you know, I think he's got a little extra motivation, right? He wants to play in the Olympics, I'm sure.
Yeah, but I think Anderson was the one that led the team in hits.
Yes, he had 4 or 5. He had 4. Okay. I'm just he had 4 hits. Suzuki wasn't great on draws today. They were 42%. Tavares is one of the best face-off guys.
He was very strong in the face-offs for sure.
And you know, it's tough. Cappy was 29%. He only took 7 draws. So Evans and Veleno, anytime you're around 50% up against the Leafs, who are a good face-off team, that's good. Suzuki, though, 9 wins, 16 losses, so not great. The blocks there, Cappy with those 2 huge blocks. Carrier again with 3. Giveaways, you had Matheson with 3. He's going to have, when you play 26 minutes against the other team's top line, there's going to be those giveaways. And what do they have for Jack-Eye? They don't have them for any giveaways. Sometimes they'll
update that, I think. Well, at least one. At least, yeah.
And it's funny. Like I was talking to it, how do you judge a hit? Like some of these stats are pretty damn subjective. Well, they are,
Yeah.
hits are
Whoever's collecting
completely
them.
subjective. Like I've seen I've watched games where somebody knocked guy right on his ass like 3 times and he didn't, he never picked up a hit in the game. And you're like,
Yeah.
where did they come up with that stat? But anyway, Slav touched that puck going into Caulfield, eh? Another nice.
He did, yeah. A little. It wasn't a lot. It was enough, though.
Yeah,
it was enough. It helped.
They finally credited him with touching a puck that was going in. Like I know there's been a couple of goals, and every time Lane Hutson scores a goal, Slav touches. It looks like he tips it, and then they give it to Lane. But Caulfield, what's that, a 10 game point streak now?
10,
or
yeah.
That's pretty impressive. He's been and you see him
he's been steady.
Yeah, you see him getting wound up in he's so good in overtime, say. Like he gets wound up there. And look out. He's exciting. He's a great skater, great stick handler. And they have a play there too where they circle back in overtime and they get it to, they do a crossover and Hudson, they give it to Caulfield and he does his stuff there, eh?
Well, it does work. It really does work.
Well, he's, I don't know, he seems to have it, he's got the overtime magic. It's no wonder he has 10 or 11, I guess it's 11 overtime goals now. And
he leads the franchise in that.
Yeah, for sure. Well, so, not much time. Good thing it's only having to go back to Montreal. It's not it's not a biggie. Get back, play the Blues, who, I mean, hopefully they'll be relaxed a bit because they won tonight and Habs come out.
Maybe.
The Habs
maybe they get to Shea Paris early tonight.
The Habs need to start playing better at home. They've been really good on the road this year. It's home where it ain't been great. So they're in third. What's their goal?
So they got goalie tonight. I think they would have had that 2 points in the regulation had it not be for Hilby, who goalied them. And then tomorrow, it looks like they're going to be going up against. I don't think it's going to be Hoffer. Hoffer started tonight.
Right. Well, it'll be Binnington, I imagine, and who's been struggling.
Until like every other goaltender or Quebec-born player, when they hit Montreal, they become, Vezina type and Norris type players. It's incredible.
It is, and it's usually like backups. Backups come in and they shine.
Well, technically, he is the backup right now, so.
I guess so. But really, like Binnington's the marquee name, and but it's usually no names, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. That
rookies and
stand on their heads and go future Vezina winner here in the making, and then they stink the joint out wherever they go next. But let's go back here ice time wise. Evans 16 minutes, Gallagher 12. Caulfield, the top line obviously gets used quite a bit, but it looks like they're finally, saying, hey, Kapanen, Demidov, they're the second line, They have it stats wise. Now Marty's starting to actually, and hey, there's no use throwing them to the wolves right away. You got to see what you got. I really liked that defensive shift by Demidov in the overtime in his
against Matthews,
against a couple of guys. I think Nylander and Matthews. He switched off them, and you can tell. Well, he's competitive and smart, but his edge work too, right? he shifts back and forth there. It's not easy to get around him. He's going to be. I mean, we saw it in Russia when I scouted him the last 2 years. His stats were good. He's rarely on the ice for goals against, and we're seeing, his competitiveness, his smarts, and his edge work all really help him defensively already. He's dogged on the puck. He he's almost stole it from Matthews about 3 times on the way up the ice.
Most rookies would have done a flyby. They would have done a little bit of a flyby, and they would have tried to do the old 10 and 2 to get back into position. But he is smart enough to know not to do the flyby. He's smart enough to know to hit the stop hard, and he's strong enough, especially with that first step, to be able to regain that momentum and speed to go in the other direction. So the smarts, the skills are there, and it's starting to really, really come together. He's not even 20 yet.
No, very soon.
Very soon.
His teen years are ending.
Next week?
Tuesday night. He'll officially be a 20-year-old. The next, so one more game as a teenager, and then adulthood awaits Mr. Demidov. I liked
a whole year before he can have a drink in the U.S.
Yeah, well, he's been able to do that in Quebec. It's fair to say since he arrived.
Yeah.
Viva Quebec. I liked his pushback against Lawton too, behind the net there, right? When the two of them kind of got and you could see like he was mad, he was angry, he's not a wallflower. That it's safe to say, and Kapanen. I love how he positions himself. He just never overcommits, defensively. You just see how he's got that awareness, just the stick awareness, the positioning. He just is, no false movements, just smart. He keeps his stick and body in the right position just about all the time, right?
It's all about efficiency of movement. He doesn't waste a single bit of energy.
No, he doesn't. No, and when he's got to get on his high horse to skate back, he does, and at the important times, right? And just like that, and then he got to the one time he came in, got the puck, the one time when he's okay, here's my chance to really make a nice play, and he got it out right on Texier's stick, right in the slot. Too bad it was Texier and not maybe Demidov, or Texier's still looking for goal number 1, but he did get one.
I like that Texier was in the right spot.
Yes, that's right. But the shot was sort of right at the goalie, but too bad it hadn't been Texier giving it to Cappy. Cappy's from that spot, he's money.
He's money.
Yeah, he is. But anyways, it was a great play by him again. And I love the shot blocks. Love that Marty's playing him more, putting him out in 2 shifts in overtime. Love it. I love that he's part of that group. Marty's gone from having Evans out in overtimes to being aggressive and saying, okay, you beat us, not not us. Try not to lose. We're going to try to win.
Play to win. Yeah,
I like it.
Oh yeah, no, I like that change of plans.
Yes.
And seeing Kapanen out there in the overtime, I do like seeing that. He is that prototypical Finnish player with a little bit of a Swedish offensive flair, which makes sense. The kid's a Finn who was born in Sweden.
There you go. Yeah. And it's Kapanen, by the way. I don't know this, Kapanen or and there's been a lot why dwell on it? For years, everyone said Mayu when it was Mayu, and no one ever friggin', you ask Logan Mayu, it's that's his name. You ask Oliver Kapanen, and he says Kapanen. So enough of this Kapanen. It's Oliver Kapanen. His dad was Sami Kapanen. His cousin was Kasperi Kapanen. Why would his name be different?
I don't know. It just keeps on happening.
Yeah, well, I think Kapanen. I just got it. Yeah, okay. I didn't get it instantly, but because I'm Cappy.
It's late. I get it.
Yeah. It took me at least a second to get that one. Well, I'm just not, I'm not used to you being funny. It kind of surprises me.
Fair.
Yeah. No, I'm kidding.
I'm not hosting, so I can be the fun one.
That's right. Yeah. Paul Cormier. I just saw some teal. Yeah, baby. Habs won tonight. Everybody should be happy. Paul Cormier, $5. Wow, I can buy a nice
beer.
I can buy like a tall boy with that. Maybe two. I don't always get on, but I enjoy the after game shows. Thanks. Paul, we do like when you get on, my friend. You're one of our best contributors, especially when you give us money. Thank you very much. How long you want to stay on for there?
I can do another 20-ish.
50? You want to take another a few
20-ish minutes? Yeah, 50 minutes, yeah.
You want to take a few comments?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. Strong game by Dovish and the Habs. Nice move in the shootout by Texier. Yeah. Caulfield scored. Matthews scored. Dovey saved 2. And Texier got the game winner. You know what? I missed it. I was down getting set up. I didn't hear
that little poke between the legs move that he did that he's done in the past, where he fakes to go wide, and he opens up that 5-hole and gives a little just a jab.
Okay. Who?
It was pretty. It was pretty.
So he's what, 5 for 7 now 5 for 8. He was 4 for 6 career. Before last game. 5 for 8.
Yeah, and then he was 0 for 1. Yeah, and 5 for 8 for his career.
Well, hey, it was worth the waiver pickup just to get him for shootouts.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, he's got a game-winning goal in shootout. He's playing on the second line. It's not hurting the team, I guess. Marty knows what it's like to be a waiver pickup and to, he can relate to him. Say, hey, man, here's your chance. I was a waiver. I was an afterthought. Went to Tampa. And when he finally got his chance in the top 6, what happened there? Maybe we're looking at the next Marty St. Louis. Maybe not. But, yeah. Bull Duke continues to be bleh. He made another play in the first period today where I'm starting to wonder about his hockey sense. I didn't feel that way in junior, but sometimes when you get to the next level, it's a little bit more of a struggle with the speed and size and stuff. I don't know how good his vision is. He had 60 assists his last year at junior, so one presumes that he's got playmaking ability, but haven't been seeing a lot of smart passing from him. I realize he's bounced around more than everybody else, and it's got to be tough in that regard, but justifiably is on the fourth line right now. I think he's just he's struggling to find his game right now. What's your take on
I think him? His struggles, I think, have more to do with him not really knowing his role or having a comfort level with what he's supposed to be doing. He's not quite sure where he should be and what he should be doing and what role he's playing. He's still feeling things out. I don't think it's going to be. It's not going to be a short term. He's not going to just turn it around all of a sudden. I think it's going to be an all season struggle for him, and a full off season. Then he'll come back and I think he'll be able to be the player they traded for at that point.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm not seeing a lot of smart play from him right now, and I hope it's just I hope it's
No,
an
he's
aberration.
struggling.
I hope it's an aberration. Maybe just overthinking things a bit, and not just reacting to play. Sort of. I mean, we saw it with Slav his first 3 years at times, right? And Bolduc, we got to remember, is a young player still, and there's things to figure out. Like your first round, he's only played about 80 games so far in the NHL. If I don't know, maybe it's up to 100 now, but it's still not a lot. And 100 games, you still got to find your way at times. And
yeah,
but I think part of it is just the bouncing around. It's not easy when you're bouncing from line to line, right?
I think he'll end up probably with. I think he's going to have a 20-goal season. People are going to be,
I
after a
hope
couple of
so.
weeks after the season's done, just be touting him how amazing it is to score 20 as a first year with the Canadians. Blah blah blah. But
Yeah.
he's
You
going to
think he's going
struggle.
to
I
get
think.
20? Oh, I hope so.
I think he's going to get 20.
How many's he got? 5?
6. And as long as he keeps playing road games, he'll be scoring.
Mm-hmm. Samurai Knight found the Habs tonight were great defensively. Yeah,
They were
pretty
actually
solid.
pretty good.
Freaking Hudson. It's one of those games where you didn't really notice him much. And you know why? Because he was freaking solid defensively. He was really good defensively tonight. Just making all the smart little plays, not taking any risky chances like he can sometimes. He gets on the right side of the puck and the right, makes a lot of smart little defensive plays. His defensive game, we know because we see him all the time. Canadians fans know that he's underrated defensively, but just the thought is, well, he's so good offensively and he's so small, he can't be good defensively. But he has developed into in the last 80 games, after the first 40 kind of trying to figure things out, he's above average defensively in this league.
And he's only 21 years old and he's still getting 65, 66 points. Like he's on pace for 65 again this season.
Yeah.
If you're playing that well defensively and putting up that number of points, that's pretty good, especially at 21. And in the game tonight, he was on the right side of the puck. There was a couple of chances that the Leafs could have had but lost because he took the stick in the slot. Like just instead of trying to turn the play around, he played the defensive play. He took that defensive play.
No, he made some and Struble, when you don't notice Struble, he's had a good game. And tonight was one of those Struble nights where he just, played his part. They were solid defensively, those two. They weren't noticeable. They just played defense. And, Toronto had 10 shots on goal 42 minutes into the game, which is crazy. In Toronto, Montreal, you don't see that too often. Samurai Night beating the Leafs always feels great. Have an extra drink tonight. Okay. One down. Puck off tonight or?
No. I don't have anything here tonight. My daughter took all the liquor and went to her boyfriend's place. So.
Okay. You don't have any beers?
No. I came home after doing all the family stuff and shopping and found all my booze gone.
Oh boy. Okay. Oh well.
Well, the hard stuff's still here, but all my beers are gone.
Okay. Well, it's late enough. Go get yourself a rum. Celebrate with the boys here.
Oh, can't do rum. My goodness, I'm a sailor. Who knows what'll happen?
Sheldon Hughes. Dovish is our number one goalie. Yeah. Captain Obvious.
Yeah, I think he's kind of wrestled that job away for now.
Yeah. No, Sheldon, I have to agree with you there. Jay, Dovish is quickly becoming the number one guy. Matheson had a strong game. Always feels good to take two from the Leafs. Well, it doesn't happen often enough.
Well, it is two in a row now.
That's right. So when's the last time you could say that the Habs beat the Leafs two in a row? Paul, if you're here, you dug up the stat. It's been since 2019 that they beat the Leafs
in Toronto.
So,
in the regular season.
Yeah. But Dobie is getting back on track. I liked, there were a few plays there. Toronto pressed some. I thought they might score late. And but Dobie, you could just see he battles, out of his net, and just no way, you're not beating me. You're not scoring. He's got battle, and I love that. I love that in him. He wants to win so badly, and he battles. He's, I did a top 10 prospects. You might want to check it out. I did 1 to 5 2 days ago, and I did 6 to 10.
Oh, freezing up.
And
there you are. Nope. Still frozen. All right.
Pretty well right now. But they
okay.
Lost you there for a sec.
Yeah.
Like they have some prospects that are doing well, goalie prospects. But how I was doing my list is based on what are your chances of being a regular with the Canadians down the line, right?
Yeah.
It's guys that think, have a.
You keep freezing up on me. Oh my goodness.
Am I freezing?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay. Sorry about that, folks. Just a sec here. How are we now?
You're solid now.
Okay. Camera is at 720. Well, I'm not going down any lower than that. So these goalies, like Dobie's young in goalie terms, right? He's a young player. Is he going to and Fowler obviously is the, he's a top 3 prospect there, for top 4, whatever you want to say in the Habs or.
Yeah, is he going to steal that job? Is he going to take that full-time position? I think he will end up with a full-time position with Montreal, long term. I think Montembeault is more the placeholder, and with Fowler coming up, I think they're just holding on, hoping that Fowler becomes that star goaltender that they drafted him to be.
Right, but my point about Dobish is Dobish looks like he could be a damn good NHL goalie too, right? So yes. None of these guys are any of these goalies that they've picked going to be better than Dobish, who is, we figure will be the backup down the line if all goes according to plan. Well, I don't know. Like the thing about goaltending, there's only 2 spots. There's only 2 spots to win. And I project like in 3 years' time, Fowler and Dobish will be the 2 guys, probably. And at this point, until one of these guys does it for a couple of years, I think, you can have a couple of good months here, a couple of good months there. And that's all Dobish has done so far. So we still don't know if Dobie is a long-term answer as one of the 2 goalies, but he's done it at least at the NHL level. And these guys are doing it in college and such. At this point anyways, none of these young goalies I could put in the top 10 because I like Fowler and Dobish as the long-term solution in Montreal. at this
I
point.
think that's going to be the future Halak versus Price argument.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Oh, we got some more teal happening here. Jake Moore. Go wild tonight, Grant. $6.99. Holy frig, I gotta pop my other beer. I know that down the road I can buy some more. Thank you. Thank you, Jake. We beat the Leafs in their own barn. Crack another one from the timing, eh? Sent from Cape Breton Island. Cape Breton. You know what?
Yep. Fellow Blue Noser.
Well,
I was CFA though.
I have driven from coast to coast, and I'm imagining you've done it in your lifetime too.
I have.
Loved the Okanagan Valley. You know, probably I don't know my favorite, but Cape Breton, pretty nice, pretty beautiful. Going along the cliffs and along the ocean and all that drive. Very, very, very beautiful. And thanks, Jake. So there you are, just like this guy, you're soon going to be turning into a pumpkin, eh? Midnight.
Pretty close.
Midnight is coming. And Paul, Mr. Paul, $5. Go Habs, go. Les Canadiens sont là. They are here. They are here. I've got beer. Well, you said another 20 minutes.
I got a couple more.
Okay, good. Because what am I going to ask you here? Okay, Olympics. It's getting closer and closer. Is Nick gonna be on the Olympic team or what?
I mean, what more does he need to do to prove he belongs on that team? I'm not saying as a starter, or he doesn't even need to be the guy that dresses. They can bring 25 guys. How is he not one of the 25 guys yet?
Yeah, I know why. What about Bedard and Celebrini?
They could be the two guys that don't dress. How about that?
Well, I think, the rumor is now that Wilson's in and Konechny's out.
Yeah.
I mean, Wilson's been playing really well, and I can understand the bottom six role where you might want someone like that in the lineup, even though none of us probably loves Tom Wilson. You got to appreciate the style of game he plays, and that you're playing against the U.S. in the final.
Yeah,
you would like to have a Tom Wilson out there.
Well, not to mention he's scoring goals right now too. He's playing a solid two-way game.
He's playing really well. And Seth Jarvis has like 16 goals. So, personally,
you move Konechny out, you move out Hagel. You could probably drop Cirelli for a couple of guys that you've already mentioned, like Suzuki, like Bedard. These are the guys that they would be supplanting.
Right. And Celebrini, obviously.
Yeah.
Like those guys pretty well. I think Suzuki, Wilson, Celebrini, and Bedard have to find spots. Now, you have John Cooper as the coach. Can the GM overrule and say, look, we're not taking your guys. You're going to have to explain it to him that it's my decision, not yours, so that there's not that would be how they'd have to do it, right? They'd have to say, look, you'll have to explain to these guys that I made the decision. You didn't make the decision, so that there's not that friction that, the bad feelings.
Yeah.
I like Hagel. I like Cirelli. They're freaking good hockey players, but
they are.
I mean, Bedard, Celebrini, top 5 in scoring, emerged as superstars. They could break the games wide open, right? They've both done it for Canada at U18s and junior. The resume's there. You got to have them on the team, but you also have to have Captain Nick. I think it goes without saying that since the Four Nations Cup, you know.
Yeah. And if you're looking for a guy to play a role, like a role player type, Suzuki can do that. He can be a matchup player. He can play on the wing. He can be your fourth line right winger. He could play center. He can match up against the team's top players. He can provide a little bit of offense. I mean, he
Yeah.
can do a little bit of everything and be that jack of the box 5-tool player that they really do need to plug in and out of a lineup like that.
Yeah. Denny Potvin's cousin. Geez, no one's ever asked him that. You know that, Mike? That's
Never.
the first time. First time he's been asked that question in his 50 years on this planet.
I didn't have to grow up wearing the number 5, even though I was a goalie.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Dawson Pelly was a joke. Yeah, I hope.
Yeah.
I hope Nylander's not on long-term, LTIR after that one. That vicious.
He stutzeled hard.
That vicious trip. That was a Garrett Rank special.
It was the flip for me. Had he just fallen, he'd be like, okay, yeah. But he flipped. I mean, come on.
Mm-hmm. And even Craig Simpson admitted that,
it looked a little bit like it.
I don't think he did it on purpose, though, but
probably not.
Yeah. Oh boy. I saw some more teal here. Sheldon. Grant, what are your thoughts having Doc with Demidov and Cappy on the wing when he returns? Yeah. That's what I've been envisioning, get Doc back with those two. Did they played a little bit, did they not, before?
I think they had like a game or two.
Yeah.
And things were starting to look pretty good.
Yeah.
But I'd put Doc on the wing on that line.
Oh, definitely. Oh no, Kapanen has to stay at center. He's just he's your guy down. Like, I don't see Cappy ever playing on the wing again. That was part of the reason why I think people thought, well, this guy can't be a top 3 center because he hardly did anything last year when he was up with the Habs, but he was out of place playing on the wing. You know? That's just not where he excels. He's a center, and he's
a rookie who just finished playing in Europe, so it's a big jump.
Well, yeah, there's that too. He had just turned 21. He played 7 minutes a night. He played on the wing with like Evans and Anderson and whoever else, fourth liners. And hey, wow, yeah, he didn't get a lot of points. Biz Nasty, Paul Bissonnette, good guy. Okay, yeah,
Biz is a good guy. Yeah,
he's funny. He is. He funny.
Is.
And he's not ashamed of being a homer. Like some of them try to hide it.
He's unabashedly a homer.
Yeah. Like Craig Simpson's not going to come right out and say, yeah, admit it. But, him and O-Dog, Biz and O-Dog, at least they don't hide it, right?
They own it. They own it.
That's right. They do. And I respect that from them.
Yeah.
Who is this guy commentating with Ron McLean tonight? Oh, okay, that was Biz. That said Habs fans were calling him a homer on Twitter. He said he couldn't wait till Elise came back and could drink Habs fans' tears. That's Biz. He's
gonna be thirsty for a while.
Yeah. No, I don't mind Biz. And he was involved in that in Arizona, that he defended the bar tender that was getting harassed and then ended up scrapping with those guys and
with 6 guys.
Yeah. No, I don't mind Biz. He's pretty funny. Tom Wilson is required for sure. We need the grit factor. I think so.
Mm-hmm.
He's just he's got to have a spot over. It makes sense over Konechny. I like Konechny a lot, but you got to have some, just like the Habs need to get some size in the bottom 6. Canada needs some size in the bottom 6.
How do you not bring in the league's premier power forward?
Yeah, well, he is. It's a pain in the ass.
For now.
Bolduc with Joe and Davidson could be a good line. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Could be. I don't mind Davidson. He brings you stuff. There's some competitiveness there. I don't think I said they couldn't be a good line. So I'm not sure what the no Grant part is, but that's okay. You're allowed to disagree with me. But three strikes, you're out, though. Grant is becoming very protective of Kapanen. Protective.
He's his godfather. You didn't know that? You guys didn't know that?
You're just cluing into that, Claude? Holy moly! Yeah, I'm. You might notice that I'm a bit of a Kapanen fan.
A little bit.
But are you? I guess, Claude, are you blaming him for that goal against? Because, I mean, come on, the guys were covered in front. He was getting it back to the defenseman, and he's very good at it. I'm being protective of him again here, and
even with all those little errors along the way that led to it, the clapper that went in was still it had to hit the bar and go in. So it's not like it was this, obvious type of goal. It's just five or six things happened and it led to a goal.
Right, and I mean Nick Roy made a great illegal play. You have to give like when you try to pass it and you pass it 6 feet in the air past a guy, that's not a bad play. He probably wasn't thinking at the time when he made that pass, oh shit, it's Garrett Rank that's reffing tonight.
I'm golden.
Yeah. I believe MSL will go with Dobie tomorrow.
It's possible. It really is. I think they're going to go the other way, but
because he even said he didn't come right out and say, he said, no. We'll see. But, yeah. Oh, here's somebody being protective of Kapanen other than me. If Kapanen was not capable of keeping his head above water and the role he's in now, Marty wouldn't be playing him. He's doing more than fine for a rookie playing against other teams' big guns. Well, I did put out stats that very few. There's only been 2 rookie centers in the past 6 years that played 90 seconds on the PK and were above a half point a game, half point a game or better, and that's Lundell and Kapanen. That's pretty impressive.
Good company.
It is. Power play is elite. A great power play can mask a lot of deficiencies in the lineup. Good to see the top 5 power play again. Are they top 5? No.
Maybe.
Didn't seem like they were crap for a while, but I guess, they have got a few recently, haven't they? And
they've been on as it comes along. Yeah, it's I think it's like four games in a row now.
Yeah. It's laughing on all of them. I think he's been he's become a power play king, which I'm glad that they put him back. When they replaced him with Bolduc, Slav can do more things, not just play the bumper. He can go to the front of the net. He can make nice passes on the side, and he's starting to find his range. He in front of the net, scoring goals on the power play. It's important.
So I just looked it up. The power play is 4th in the league at 26.5%.
Oh my goodness.
And their penalty kill is 9th in the league at 78.2%.
When you're top 10 in both, that's why they're above 500. That's why they're in a playoff spot. Yep. It's not because of the save percentage of the goaltenders. But we keep getting games like that from Dobie. That's gonna help go a long way. How long do you give Monty here with the Canadians? Obviously, you can't afford to slip back 4 or 5 points even in this playoff race because there's just so many teams that'll be ahead of you. Yeah. If you're 4 or 5 points back, you're in last place basically in the conference. So
his best chance of staying relevant is this month. with all of the back-to-back games that they have, with the
Yeah.
number of games they have to play this month, if he doesn't find a way uh, to win a game that the team doesn't deserve to win, steal a win here or keep them in the game without giving up a giant banana early in the game, he's got to find a way to do that this month. If he doesn't, I think the role is going to be handed to Dobesh pretty fast.
Yeah, for sure. Clinton Kozak. The team played a great road game. Yep. It's 5-1 if not for the Leaf goalie. Let's talk about the positive performances. Yeah, for sure. Well, it was Kapanen. Who else?
I thought Davidov played a great game.
No, I'm kidding. Yeah, Demi. No, we've pointed out quite a few guys that played well tonight. Nobody had a horrible game, I mean, even Arbor, I did point out those two mistakes late that, my last 3 hairs I was pulling out of my head. But all in all, Arbor was decent again tonight. And Carrier, again, after a little bit of a stretch, he had some struggles there. He wasn't too bad again tonight. When you're not noticing Carrier in his own zone, just like with Struble, I think that's a good thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Okay, Blainer. We got you for an hour. Love your hat, by the way. You need to get me one. Send me one of those for Christmas, will you?
I don't even know where we got it. The kids got this for me years ago. We just put the tree up and pulled out all the decorations, so out came the hat.
Well, it's a beauty, and I'm jealous. I need one. I'm going to start looking, see if I can find one somewhere so I can wear it next time the Habs beat the Leafs. I guess they don't play before. They don't play them before Christmas, I guess.
Doesn't matter. It's a great winter hat. How about that?
Oh, absolutely, for sure. All right, Blaine. Thank you very much. I'm gonna go on for another half hour or so here. You're welcome to stay for another 10 if you want. I'm just
no, I'm gonna have to get going here.
I'm not booting you out on purpose. Don't feel like I'm saying, okay, I've had enough here or anything like that. But you did say 50 minutes, and we're up over an hour now. So thanks again, Blaine. It is now midnight, past midnight for you. So you got to go find some rum.
I got to get turned into a jack-o'-lantern.
Go find some rum. Have one on me.
All right.
Okay.
All right. Thanks a lot, Greg.
Okay. Blain Potvin, ladies and gentlemen. Great guy. You got to love Blainer. All of the guys that I have on, super gentlemen. Let's get to a few more questions here. A few more questions. Oh, people are saying being negative. Don't just call him as you see him there, guys. Not every, it's not all going to be bouquets and roses there. Props to Hildeby for standing on his head and single-handedly getting 1 point for the Leafs. That guy's played really well against the Leafs more than once. Clinton. Okay, I see. Okay, so Clinton Kozak's a huge Arbor guy. Okay, yeah. All right. I'd love to see Bolduc get on track. Seems to be lost out there, squeezing the stick. Yeah. Well, hey. Not everybody's perfect tonight. Apologies to people for getting offended that your favorite player got called out for a couple of things, but again, I can't be. It wasn't wasn't a perfect game, but yeah, for sure, there's a lot more positives than negatives tonight. Also, credit to Grant and his guests going live on a Saturday night after a game when most other podcasts couldn't bother. Yeah, well, hey, it's Saturday night, right? one of the reasons why I do it is because others don't. And I mean, people, that they're up, right, on Saturday night. And there's more people watching games on Saturday night than any other night. So I feel it's almost like my duty to come on. Yeah, could I be doing other things? Yes, I could, but I'm committed to this. I know that I have faithful followers here that love, even if I'm not on, they like just interacting with each other here in the chat and stuff. So this way, keep it going. You guys and girls can chat back and forth in here. And hey, it's a good time. It's a good Habs community, and I don't mind doing it on a Saturday night, but I also appreciate that you can understand that it's a bit of a sacrifice, but I love doing it, so not that much of a sacrifice. The Oilers are flying tonight. Right on. I want more Canadian teams in the play. I didn't like when Montreal was the only Canadian team that was in a playoff spot. I really want this streak to end. Obviously, with the Canadians ending the streak, but any Canadian team other than Toronto, I'd like to see this American stranglehold on the Stanley Cup come to an end. Samurai Knight, I want to dislike Texian, was going to say I still don't like him on second line, but guy got shootout winner, so I'll not be hard on him. He's playing okay. When as was saying, when Doc comes back, ideally I'd like to see him maybe on that second line or trade for Stamkos. Nashville lost again tonight. Funny, they were saying that the Devils are making inquiries about Stamkos. I think they could use Steven Stamkos if the price is right, if they can get Nashville to retain some salary. He's not done. If you go look at that video I did on Patreon, Stamkos surprised me. The man is not done, and put in the right situation, like put him with Kapanen and Demidov. I like the potential of that line a lot. Montembeault, he could also mentor the two of them. Montembeault versus Binnington will be the highest ever over total bet by sports bettors the entire season, I'd have to think. Yeah. And watch them both stand on their heads. They played Tampa on You Want a Fresh Dobie. Yeah. And Dobie, what he did against Tampa last year, right? Yeah. Marty played back-to-back. Why can't Dobish? Yeah, playing one back-to-back isn't a kill. Just the 3 games in 4 nights, maybe more than anything. I see the point of it, You can look at it 2 ways, I guess. I think Monty will bounce back eventually, but we need to ride the hot hand. Go Dobie. Yeah, that's Mark. Mark. Thanks, Mark. MSL opened the door when asked. He said probably Montembeault. Yeah, I think he said we'll see or something. So maybe Dobie goes in. I personally ride the hot hand, but you also hope that you got to have 2 goalies going. It's really tough. It's tough right now. Deciding what to do with Montembeault. I guess you play him tomorrow night. Binnington and Nets. You hope he can at least match Binnington. Like Binnington's one of the few goalies that's playing even worse than Monty right now. Johnny Golden, any Bringing a new goalie coach. Well, I've suggested it. I mean, there's one in the down on the farm, right? I don't know if he's worked. That's doing a fine job. I don't know if he's worked with the NHL goalies, but I'd consider it. I consider bringing him up. Nashville lost 6-3, no Stamkos point. Yeah. Well, they're not making the playoffs, and it's known that those guys are available, O'Reilly and Stamkos. Sheldon, I'm committed to your show, Grant. We're right on. Well, I'm committed to you guys because you're committed to me. I have a faithful group here, and I really appreciate that most of you come out most nights. So I try to make it every game. I've even not gone to scouted some junior players on nights that the Habs are playing because I now feel like obligated to do this, but I also enjoy doing it. So it's not like a huge sacrifice. 10 games until Christmas. How many for Dobie? Depends on, that's a good question, Sylvain Deloche. And thank you for asking. Question. That's a new name, I think. I'd have to look at the schedule. I guess it depends on back-to-backs and depends on who's hot, right? Like you can't say, well, this guy's going to play this many and this guy's going to play this many because 4 games from now, maybe Monty's playing better than Dobie. You can't predict that. You have to kind of go game by game. And, if Monty finds his game over the next 5 games, then he'll probably play a little more. So, great guy, Blainer. Yeah, Blaine is a good sailor. No doubt about it. Blaine is a great guest, yes. Would you recall Blaine? No, I know it says Blay. Yeah, I would. 740 tuning in, almost 200 on online here. Hey, keep the question. Ask me a few more questions here. I'll go for a while yet. But the young lad's home. He wants the computer, so won't be a 2-hour show tonight, folks. Got to kind of balance things here, keep everybody happy. Grant, do you think Bryce Pickford will join the Rocket this spring? Yes, I do. But it depends somewhat. Like if Medicine Hat goes far in the playoffs and the Rocket don't, there may not be, much there. But the WHL playoffs start a lot later than the NHL ones. So, or the AHL, I mean. They start a lot earlier. So, hopefully there's Medicine Hat is done before Laval, like hopefully for Laval's sake. And I think he could help. I think he could play in the AHL this year, although Laval has a pretty solid defense too. Doc, end of December. Well, I think he's back skating some, is he not? So, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if I wouldn't be surprised if he's back. I expect him back sometime this month, put it that way. Mike Johnson hates I always liked Mike Johnson, but to each his own. Biz is a goofball. He's hilarious, though. We can't take him too seriously. Yeah, I don't mind a goofball. You need the odd goofball in there. He's better commentator than Gretzky, put it that way. He wore up. Blaine grew up wearing number 4 for Jean Potvin. There you go. He's actually related to Mark Potvin. Do you remember Mark Potvin? He played he had a cup of coffee in the NHL, which is more than any of us can say, right? Hagel has been on fire lately. Yeah, well, has he been on fire as much as Bedard and Celebrini all year? Wilson for sure, Suzuki, and either Bedard. Kind of hard to keep both those guys off, man. Celebrini and Bedard, Jesus. Are they still top 5 in scoring? I mean, top 5 in scoring in the league, and you don't get invited. That'd be a tough one. That would be a tough one. No, some guys certainly don't want you criticizing anybody, eh? Oh well, gotta call them as I see them, guys. Has Florian been sent back to Laval? If not, why not? Kid has got to play. Yeah, he got sent back. He scored 2 goals for Laval the other night. By the way, Rick and I are going to do a show tomorrow. Probably have it out at noon or so. Habs prospect of the week, which I still have to do. So I got to get off of here soon. I still have to make clips and all that for Habs prospect of the week. And we're also featuring draft prospect of the week each Sunday now too. Rick's got somebody all lined up. Johnny Golden, yeah, we love your show, Grant. Thank you, my friend. Florian and Engstrom are back in Laval, yes. The opportunity with a former scout for the Habs is awesome. We're pretty lucky to have some. That's pretty cool. Who needs Dangle? We got McCagg. There you go. See? Everybody happy? Laval in first place. Do you like Pascal Vincent as their coach? Well, he's got them in first place. The kids seem to be developing okay. Reinbacher's coming along just great. Goaltender's coming along great. They're in first place, but it's not like he doesn't play the young guys. So, yeah, I like Pascal more than the coaches that Berge had there when he was GM. I think Pascal was a definite upgrade, just as Marty is an upgrade on the coaches that Berge had. It's one of the many strong things I like about the new regime is that the coaches in right from the ECHL right up are solid, and they're doing a good job. I also like, at the end of the games, Montreal, and I don't know why more teams don't do this, but mind you, not very many of them have a former Art Ross Trophy winner as their coach. But why not have Marty drop the offensive plays, instead of always, I've never quite understood that. You have a defensive coach or whatever drawing up the offensive play, and like Alex Burrows. I like Alex and that, but he'd be drawing up plays on how to score a goal when Marty's sitting back there, and you're thinking, shouldn't it be the guy that that scored a lot of points that draws up these plays? So I like, the Canadians are doing a few things differently, just like the not doing the slingshot and every time it has to just go back to the one guy and he brings it up. They've changed that up, and Hudson will come up and fake that and go in, and they're doing a few things differently than other teams, and I like that. I like that they're not just a copycat organization, a copycat coaching staff, where it has to be assistant that. Well, what are you paying them? What do you got a head coach for if he's not, he's not drawing up a play at the end of the game? He's the guy getting the big bucks. He's the head coach. Why defer to the friggin' assistant coach all the time in these situations? I love that Marty's, no. I'm taking over the power play. I'm going to, at the end of the games, we need a goal or, offensive situation, 10 seconds left, draw in the offensive zone. I'll come up with the play. I love it. I like Trevor Letowski. And again, Trevor Letowski wasn't the offensive brain that Marty was on, in the NHL. So, coach to your strengths, right? Do I think Drew Doughty should still make the team? Drew Doughty's a solid defenseman. I haven't been watching him enough to, West Coast teams, right? And don't see a pile of LA, but Drew Doughty's heart and soul guy, smart, veteran, been there, won it all, cups, World Cups, all that. I wouldn't, it won't upset me if Drew Doughty's on the Canadian Olympic team. Love the guy. He's a heart and soul guy. A lot of people call him bananas for saying the Habs might pick him at 5 because that was way too high. He was picked 3rd. Now look at him. Who? Seneca? Is that who you're talking about? Yeah, Seneca was Jake Sanderson. Even I remember when I first put Jake Sanderson into my top 3. Whew, I was pretty crazy then too. How can you have this? He got no offense. Blah blah blah. You don't project guys just based on their draft year, their point totals. You're projecting the future. And Jake Sanderson skated like Scott Niedermayer. You could see it, right? If you can skate like Scott Niedermayer didn't become an offensive defenseman right away either. It took him a few years. Jake Sanderson has become dynamite friggin' defenseman. He's awesome. I wish people are a bit too quick to. I learned this a long time ago where you don't judge other people that are scouting. You don't get real critical of where they have guys ranked because sometimes things don't always turn out as you'd think. And also, you see these lists, these independent lists, there's lots of times, and I'm lucky that I have NHL scouting friends that, it's not just me coming up with this on my own. I see it, but then I'll verify with guys and say, hey, is this Sanderson? He looks top 5. Is he? Oh yeah, So I get it verified, then I know. But independent lists that have a guy 10 or whatever, and it was the same with Seneca. All sorts of lists didn't have him in the top 10 till real late. I'm going to games, playoff games, Oshawa. Seneca is just fantastic. And I saw him all at the end of the year. Second half of the year, he was dynamite, And I talked to NHL scouts, say, fuck, this guy's top 5, isn't he? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, for sure. And by the end of the year, I had him 3. And I think he's showing that he was deserving of that. But I had Will Smith and Leo Carlson out of the top 5, and they're tearing it up right now. And so you don't always get them right. You don't always get them wrong, right? I thought Leo Carlson was soft to a certain degree. I wasn't sure that he'd prosper at the NHL level. So, that just goes to show it doesn't matter what scout it is. You get some right, you get some wrong. You just keep scouting, trying your best. I had Dvorsky and Leonard ahead of Karlsson and Smith, and it's too early to say, that they won't be better. They won't help their teams win at playoff time more than those two guys. That's how I judge a draft is, will they help their team win a playoff time? And I love Ryan Leonard, and I think he's the kind of guy that at playoff time is going to help you win. And I feel the same way about Dvorsky. Obviously, the other two guys that started their careers more points, regular season, this and that. So they for sure look like they should have been top 5 picks. But again, it's early, and we'll see 5 years, 10 years down the road what players rose to the top come playoff time. And that for me will always be, because you're picking top 5. I think you want to get guys that help you win a playoff. I think it's the most important thing. If you're picking top 5 guys, that's, it's what counts the most. And it's also one of the things, it's funny. Well, I don't understand why there isn't more emphasis put on playoff stats in not only the NHL, but every league. Like, you never hardly ever see, well, here are the all-time playoff leaders in goals, or, when they talk about the most goals of all time, they don't ever include the playoffs, when that to me is more important than what you do in the regular season. Like, when you look at all-time playoff goals, when you include playoff goals and regular season goals, Ovechkin's still behind Gretzky, and I think Gretzky had over 1,000, but Ovi still hasn't beat that. But it's never mentioned. It's never said, well, he still hasn't got the most all-time goals counting playoffs, but it's not ever part of the discussion. And I don't know. I find that it's just funny that all of the emphasis is put on regular season, when at the end of the day, it's what you do in the playoffs that is just so important. Scott Powell, love to see you and Liam again. Yeah, well, Liam's out. He's doing his Legends of Hockey thing again. He's out with Screwy and Stefan Richer and all those guys, and he just can't, when he's out on the road like that, he can't do it. But yeah, Liam will be back soon. I'm positive the NHL teams are looking at Vincent as a coach. If I was Hughes, I'd give him a blank check to sign it. Maybe. He's doing a good job there. Oh, we got a nice comment on the HabsCast logo in the background. Thank you. I got that put up this week. Looks a lot better, eh? I like that it takes up the whole screen now. I got a 6x10 banner, and that's thanks to you folks, by the way, contributing on these HabsCast. That's how I managed to come up with the coin to do it. So thank you to all of the people that have supported me on here monetarily. Leaf fans are whining the best they can't even hit. Yeah, they're too slow. Well, they don't look great, but they're only 4 points back of the Habs. So need to head out early. Thank you for another great show. Thank you. And we're at an hour 30. Okay, I got to get going. The young lads wants the computer here. Casual tennis noob. Hey, I'm a tennis noob too. You ever want to ask me a tennis question? I can probably fix you up. How many junior games do you watch to get in person these days? You always have great takes and really sharp. Not that many. I'm doing this HabsCast, and it's really taking up a lot of my my time. But as things get rolling here, second half, I'll get to more games out in Gatineau and Ottawa. It's cool that I've got 2 junior leagues right there, and I'll go out to both as much as I can this year again. And I'll do a draft list. I'll do some draft shows at the end of the year. Do I think Matthew and I's comment fueled the Habs? We have a tendency to be flat at home, but we'll come back and get. No, probably not. That's you got to say that, and you always have to put it in context of what the question he was asked too, right? It's past my bedtime. Okay, well, everybody's packing it in. Good. I think it's a sign that I need to do the same. Yeah, there's also the it's difficult to figure out an 18-year-old will pan out. Yeah, exactly. Okay, folks, that's it for me. Thank you, everyone, for showing up. Great, it's great on a Saturday night that the Habs win. Right, it's always a great feeling. Thanks again for coming out, supporting the HabsCast. We had 763 people watching, 182 right now on YouTube, which is fantastic. Thank you very much. Go Habs, go! I'll do this again tomorrow night if I'm pretty sure I can come on, and I'll let the young lad know that I need the computer for another hour and a half. Okay, so see you tomorrow night after the Blues game, and hopefully you'll watch the game or watch the podcast with me and Rick. That should be out around noon tomorrow. Okay, have a good night.